Alright guys, what I'm going to show you here is how to create this object that you have in your model creation activity on SOLIDWORKS. So on your drawing sheet, this is the first model number 1 that you're looking at right here that we're going to go through and work on. So feel free to write notes and make notations of the dimensions and things on your drawing sheet as you see here. So for example, when I'm looking at this, first off, the overall height of the object here would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares. So 5 times 0.5 or half an inch would be 2.5 inches. Okay, along the base 3.5 inches, hence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 squares. Here we got 1 inch, 1 inch, 1, 1, 1, 1. So I'm going through and I'm writing down some dimensions to remember. So when I go to create this model, I have these notes here to help me out. As you can see, so I'm going around and doing the dimensions of this. So if you have any questions on how to read these dimensions, please just come and talk to me after you watch this video. So going back over to SOLIDWORKS. In SOLIDWORKS, we're going to start a new file and we're going to start a new part. So the part we're going to be working on again is the the model that you guys just saw. So what I'm going to do is, first off, we're going to go to Sketch and we're going to create a two-dimensional sketch, and we're going to create our sketch on this front plane. So the first thing is in creating a model in SOLIDWORKS is that we have to create a two-dimensional drawing, and we're going to draw out the L shape, which is the side profile of that object. We're going to go ahead and lay this down, as you guys can see. Now notice when I drew it out, I'm going to draw it out over here again and I'll delete it. When I clicked in it and put it down, notice the little snaps. Those are letting me know that I'm locking on to the edges of the object. So it also allows me to know whether or not I'm drawing a vertical or horizontal line. And if you notice the information next to the mouse cursor, that's telling you first off the length and then the angle of the line, so that way you can draw your lines true to shape. So I'm going to right click and go to select. Let me get rid of this. So now we're going to use the Smart Dimension tool to dimension our object up. So from here, the back length is going to be 2.5, and the dimensions that I'm putting on here are coming from the drawing sheet in which we were just looking at. So you see here the back height is 2.5, the base here is 3.5, and we're drawing out this L profile that you see here. Alright, so going back in here, we'll do 3.5 for the base. We'll do the height here, 1.0, and then this length will be 2.5, and then the last two dimensions we won't have to put them in because this program is a very intelligent program. It realizes that the overall height of this object is 2.5 inches and that this length is 1 inch. So 1 inch from 2.5 gives us 1.5 for the remaining portion of the height. Same holds true for the base and the width. So here's the overall length. Subtract from this will equal this, 1 inch. So if I go use the dimension tool, you see 1 inch. So from here now we're done. So we can exit the sketch and we can go to features, and so now we're going to use that good old extrude boss base. And so once we click on that tool, what we're going to do here is type in the dimension. And so if we look back over at our drawing here, the overall depth of this object is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares deep. And so when we come back to our model, 5 squares equals 2.5 inches, because 1 square is equal to a half an inch, like it shows on the bottom of the drawing sheet. So when we extrude it out, again, 2.5, enter, and here's our extrusion depth, and we'll go ahead and confirm that by the green check mark, and then there's the first step of our model created. Now, in order to create the 2 notches, the process is the same, but the dimensions we're going to put in are different. So we're going to sketch on this front lip here, create a box, cut it out, and do the same on the bottom here and cut it out. And so here we go. First step, we're going to go here and go to Sketch, choose Sketch, and we're going to choose the front face. You notice that it highlights in orange when I'm choosing it. I'm going to go ahead and choose that. And so now we're going to go through and draw a 2-point rectangle, corner rectangle on the front face. Now, don't let it lock onto anything. You saw that little line there. Don't let it snap onto anything. You just want to draw it in here because we're going to dimension its position. So you can see there's the 2-point rectangle drawn on there. And so now we're going to go through and do the dimensioning. So smart dimension, and from the edge of the object, notice I'm clicking the side length of the box here, and click once and bring your mouse over and wait until you see the edge. Do not click and drag, but click one time and bring the mouse over to the edge until it highlights on orange, and then click again. So what we're doing is we're setting the dimension or the distance from the edge of the object to the edge of the box we just drew. So 0.5, and we'll do the same thing for the other side. Click on the edge one time, come on the opposite side, click once, drop the dimension, type in its distance, 0.5. So now we have the opposing sides dimensioned correctly. Now all we have to do is dimension the depth of this cut. So right now we're going to dimension from this edge down to the bottom edge of the box. So we'll click here, click on that edge, bring the dimension over here, put 5, confirm it, and there's the notch. So now we'll go to Features, Extrude Boss Base. I'm sorry, not Extrude Boss Base. We'll go to Features and Extrude Cut. Because what we're doing is we're cutting out that object. Now, we can either leave the distance wider than what it is, or since we're going all the way through, we can choose through all and we don't have to worry about a distance, as you can see. So we'll check that mark, unselect the object, and there's that first notch cut out. And so what we're doing now is this is what is called subtractive modeling, where we have a model and we're removing portions of it. And so now what I'm going to do is go to Sketch, Sketch, and we're going to choose the top face. Again, this process is the same as before, drawing out that 2-point rectangle. It's just when we do the dimensions are a little bit different. So this time we're doing it 1 and 1. And then from the back here to the front edge of the object is 1.5. And if you're unsure where I'm getting these dimensions, I'm referring back to this dimension sheet here. So you can see here is the distance of 1, the distance of 1, and then going back 1, 2, 3, which would be 1.5 for the distance of the notch there. So we got all that taken care of. You see here. So now all we do is we go exit the sketch, Features, and Extruded Cut. And so now that we have an extruded cut turned on, you can see now it's going through the object. We'll do through all, confirm that the cut, unselect, and let me switch over to isometric view, and there is our first object, number 1. So what I want you guys to do is when you're done, I want you to go File, Save As, and create a new folder by clicking this icon right here and naming it Model Creation, which I've already created a folder here. See Model Creation, and save this file in there. And since this is model number 1, as you guys can see off our sheet, model number 1, we're going to name this 1 and save it. Alright, once you guys are done saving, then you're ready to move on to the next model.